Hi, welcome back to Jappie Vlog. So it's done. I went to the notary and like the BV has been started. I also went to the just now I went to the accountant and the tax advisor, and we just discussed all about what happened and how I should proceed. So I want to just like make a quick video and record what the hell just happened, because yeah, it's complicated, as you'll see in this video. So let's first talk about the structure I made. So I already like discussed this structure in spreadsheets before, but now I made like a schematic overview of what actually happened here. So I already existed before. So before it was just me, right? And I had like a little company. So it was like just me and a company. That company has like been cancelled now. It doesn't exist anymore. So I went to the notary, and the first thing we made was like this holding B.V, which is it's like a holding company that will collect the excess profits in my company. And then after that was made, like I'll show you in a moment how it's being made, but the second company got created, which is Jappie Software B.V, and this will like talk to the outside world and do all the business with everyone. So the world will know about Jappie Software B.V. But that's the second thing we made, Jappie Software B.V. And on all my invoices, I now put Jappie Software B.V. and everyone will work with that. The advantage of this structure is that if I, for example, would have for some reason I would have like a lawsuit or whatever with one of my clients, then I can choose to just declare bankruptcy, and we scratch this out and create another one, and just business continues, right? So it's like this structure it allows me to like quickly continue with business if things go really, really badly. Another advantage of this structure is that I can have colleagues that want to buy into this structure and become owners, and they would not have to deal with like the retirement rules dealing with the holding company. So the holding company is only there for tax purposes. So if I get like profit, it doesn't get taxed immediately, taxed eventually. So that's the reason we do that. Okay, these are the two things I created at the notary. And then there's another contract I'll also show in a moment. It's the silent maatschap, and actually the world doesn't know about it at all. So, but me and the tax service will know about this silent maatschap. So still a maatschap is silent maatschap. And essentially this will allow me to keep the fiscal advantages of being self-employed. So you get some bonuses, because normally what happens is that you get hired by the BVU structure and you're like just an employee. But we have this alternative structure where I'm actually self-employed again, and I work with my BV. So essentially, this is this contract we made, which I made with myself, because I'm also the owner of the BV, allows me to retain tax advantages. And I'm allowed to do this because I have a free profession, which essentially means that I put my own sweat into it. I think this structure will save me, we've looked at this before, but it would save like, 3,000 to 4,000 euros a year or something on income tax. Then there's another thing in the holding B.V. is the retirement account, and I have made a contract again with myself that I have 100k in retirement in this. This B.V. will make sure that I have 100k retirement right now, and because we do this right now, I immediately get a 15k tax discount this year, which is awesome. So of my income, I would actually have 15k lower. Okay, so that's the big structure, and I will use this structure to refer back to once we step through the documents, because otherwise you'll just get crazy. So like, okay, this doesn't look that complicated, but there are actually multiple documents involved per thing here. So that's, this is our map, which we'll use to navigate. Okay, so the first document I got from the notary is this creation of the BV. So this is the full word, besloten vennootschap. It's like essentially like a limited liability company. And here we're talking about how everything should work. And apparently this is how you do it in the Netherlands. So I need to be part in the shareholder registry. We are allowed to put like mortgages on these shares I have. There's also like an entire section on how the entire company should be governed, because Yeah, and apparently what happens in practice is because I'm the only owner, none of this actually works. There's like another rule somewhere in here that says like, okay, if there's consensus, you don't have to go through all these steps. And because I'm the only owner, there's always consensus. So yeah, we have to create a annual report, but that's essentially something the accountant will do. And it's like how the profit and dividend will be treated, etc. Like all of this is not that important because I'm the only owner here. Next, we have the so this is like the holding B.V, right? This is like the company that owns the other company. And I own this holding structure. So this describes what stuff we're bringing into the company. So essentially it says like, okay, I paid like €1,000 to create this company and I got the shares in return. Again, like this is, my own money being sent to another bank account, which I also own. So it's like fiscal stuff. Okay, next we have the creation of the second company. So we just created this holding B.V with those two documents, and now we're gonna create this Jappie Software. And I don't own this directly. The holding B.V owns Jappie Software. So there's like a step in between. Oh, and I think the reason for that is that if Jappie Software has profit, then it doesn't have to go through me, which means it doesn't have to be taxed. These are like different types of people. They're called right person. Okay, so we create the second company. I was thinking like, why do I see Jappie Klooster Holding B.V in here? But it's because the holding company is actually creating another company. So here we're describing what are we creating. You're creating Jappie Software B.V, and then it's about the shares. We have to create a share. They're all at €1 for some reason. I don't know why this price. It like the longer I look at it, the more questions I get. But so we need to send the money to the bank account. We're in the shareholder registry, and yeah, we have like similar things. You got like all these other rules. I think it's mostly the same as the other document. I'm not sure actually. It looks a bit different. Oh no, it's like the annual report again. Okay, yeah, I didn't read it all. Up next is the document to move over stuff from holding to Jappie Software. So this is like it gives it money essentially, and this is again like the €1,000, and I think it also sets up like debts and whatever. Yeah. Oh no, like actually it refers to the. I forgot about this in the previous thing. So there are more documents actually. I forgot about this completely. But there's like a description of what we're bringing into and so there's like one giant description of what we're bringing into the company. So like first of all, we're describing what we had before. So this is like I used to be called Penguin Programmer for some reason. I decided to just go with my own name because it's easy for people to remember, and yeah. Anyway, so we decided to create this thing called goodwill, which is money. If I were to cease operating this company, we're kind of assuming that there will be like 100k of value left. Like I could sell this company for 100k. That's what goodwill is. So, and how do you decide this? Like, well, you pick a number, I guess. I don't know. Like normally you would go to the market, but you cannot do that because then you have to sell it and you're no longer the owner. So I guess I have customer relations, but there you go. So we got like liquidity on the other side. We put my share account on it, which is only 25k. I want to put it on because of the Russian shares. We'll see what happens with them. Anyway, here we're talking about the holding. And the holding has a 100k liability because they have to pay for my pension, essentially. And then we say, okay, there's 40k, 48k of money being brought into the company. And we're going to describe here how much that is. And then, the liability side, we have 47k of money is being owed to me. So that's like... because I own the shares, I have a value of 47k on my private account, I guess. I don't know. Yeah. And then we're gonna chat about Jappie Software. So like, you know, this is the company below it. Yeah, it keeps on going. So one thing we saw is that it actually has a 100k debt to the holding, and that 100k debt is because we don't want to have the goodwill. No, we have to like balance out the goodwill essentially. So that's why we say we have a debt to the holding, I think. We got the declaration of shareholder registry, whatever. Yes, we got 1,000 normal shares, and they were 1,000 euros because we put this arbitrary value at €1. So yeah, we got shares. So this is for, what is this? Statue Jappie Klooster Holding. So this is the holding. There are 1,000 ordinary shares, and I am the shareholder. Okay, next up we have Jappie Software. Jappie Software B.V. We got 1,000 euros on shares, and the holder is the owner of the shares is Jappie Klooster Software Holding B.V. So that's not me, that's the company. Okay, what else? Okay, so like we discussed the holding being created now. We discussed all the documents that are in there. And now we're gonna deal with, okay, first of all we're gonna have to deal with the obligation of pension this structure has, which is just for taxes. I mean, this is like a weird tax structure completely. But, and then we also have to deal with the silent maatschap, the silent company. There's another company which we don't talk about. First, let's do the silent maatschap. This is a agreement between myself. Okay, this is an agreement between myself and Jappie Software. So remember, I am the owner. No, I'm not the owner of Jappie Software. I'm the owner of Jappie Holding B.V, which owns Jappie Software B.V. So, I mean, I'm indirectly owner of Jappie Software. I mean, like, I have to pay myself fines if something goes wrong. Could you use this to fiddle over money from your BV to yourself? Because, you know, you can get a fine of 25,000. Yeah, my company is just acting really, really weird. Oh my god. So here, okay, so what this document does, it's a contract between the BV and myself. And because I do the labor, we don't have to, first of all, we don't have to hand out 56k of income every year. We can do it lower, which eases on income tax. We share the profit and loss as 10% and 90%. So I guess if there's like 40k of profit, 90% is going to me actually? I don't know. Okay, I think I'm number one and I get like 10% of the profit and the other one gets 90% of the profit. I don't know. Okay. That's fine. God, we even have like, it's insane. We have like a clause for if I cannot work, what should we do? This seems crazy. Okay, so like this is, yeah, so this is like to get the fiscal advantages and I'm signing it, you know, me, and I'm also signing it for me. So, you know, there's that. Jesus Christ. I'm just laughing because I can't believe this is something. Well, first of all, this works. The tax service is completely okay with this. Second of all, who the hell comes up with this shit? Like, why would you make a contract with yourself? It makes no sense. Like, why would you do this? Anyway, we have another contract with myself. So, I mean, like, okay, the tax service is like, okay, well, you know, you got this BV, and you make, as the owner of a BV, you make a contract with yourself. Then, I mean, I guess technically it's possible because they're not considered the same person, but I mean, it is the same person. So shouldn't you say via logic that this is just crazy? We're a tax dodge. So here I'm signing the agreement that I will pay myself out the essentially pension. So it's like I'm thinking of the literal translation. It's like body dividend. body interest, I guess. But it's better translated as pension. So because we set up this agreement, I'm getting a 15k tax discount this year anyway. Okay, so after doing all this stuff, like how much did we actually, how good did we do, right? So this is like the estimation the accountant made, and this misses one part. So it misses the 15k because of the, it's so complicated. It misses 15k because of the pension. Like we created a 100k pension, so we should have a 15k reduction here somewhere, but it's not being calculated with. Anyway, the estimation goes follow. We end up paying 22k. Oh no, it's less. So it's 19k here. There are two actually. So this is direct taxes, and then you also got the taxes for this is the tax for, they call it like people's insurance. It's essentially pensions. So like this is direct pensions from my income to old people. Anyway, it ends up being 22,000, I think, around 22,000. Okay, so I want to like still capture this part on like we made a calculation before doing all this stuff about how much taxes we would have to pay, and we actually came out drastically, quite significantly lower. And now I want to like ask myself why did we end up coming around 39k instead of why did we come up 40k and they came up with 23k, I think. And the reason is because we are actually not doing the dividend at all. So we're keeping all the money in the BV, in the holding structure. So let's see. If we completely ignore this, then you would actually end up similar to 22k. So the problem, I mean, like long term, this will be a problem. It's short term, it's fine to do this, but what's happening here is that this guy is just blowing up, and Jappie's not getting the money. So we can do this short term anyway, because we have to get that 100k commitment for pension, and I want to build a pension anyway. Like that's the entire point, right? And if I keep it in the holding, then it's not like I cannot spend. I'm like the complete owner. So it's not, I could buy houses, I could buy cars, I could buy whatever I want. Like the money is still available to me. It's just not on my private. And if it's yielding, so one more problem with this, we're not, sending it to me to myself, is that if you have money privately in Netherlands, it's actually like really really tax efficient, because we don't have capital gains tax here. We have a fictitious capital gain tax. So if you have like €1 million, they just assume you're making 5% interest, like 5% profit on it, and they're taxing that 5%. So let's see, if you have $1 million, it will be around 50k, and they're gonna take a third of your 50k every year. So it will be around around 18,000 euros they would tax you. However, the money being kept in the holding, so that's like this thing again, it's in fact taxed on profits. So the tax service will exactly know how much money there is in, and they will exactly calculate how much profit you're making on it. I think they did a fictitious one because they just didn't want to bother with like calculating everyone's returns and like making them give it up. But they're doing it for BVs. So long term, it's not great. However, then this guy is throwing me another oddball because he's saying like we can increase the size of your retirement. So we can increase the size of that contract, make it bigger, and subtract that from profits. So essentially, we could potentially grow quite indefinitely in the holding. And this has the other advantage that if we keep the money in the holding and just grow retirement in there, then I have more control over what I do with it, because I can still borrow from my holding, right? I cannot really borrow from my blocked account, or I cannot really, emit dividend from my blocked account. So there's like more options in holding it keeping the money in the holding. So because the dividend is like an upfront cost I pay, it's financially quite inefficient because you first have to make your dividend back, right? So it's like paying 15% now versus paying 15% later. It was 15%, right? Or it was higher. Actually, it was higher. It was like 19, I guess. No, 24.5. Okay. So for now, I think we're just gonna do that. We're not gonna do dividend, and we're gonna keep our tax pressure low. Just build up some capital. It's fine. I feel good about this. Okay, so and then like we come to the final part of this way too long video, probably. I mean, I think it's kind of cool to record this because it's you know, you don't do this every day, even though it's just, you know, weird tax dodge. We're going over the. Okay, so these are like all the letters I got. So there were okay. First of all, these are already opened, and then I realized it would be cool to put some video. But so this is the shareholder register update from the KVK, which is Chamber of Commerce, and you got another one of that for the other company, KVK. And the nice thing about this, like, you know, you get the shareholder stuff first, and I didn't even get the that the holding actually exists. So it's a classical Paxos problem, right? This is a letter on Holding B.V. Oh, welcome to you know, KVK. So that's one. Then we got like a tax letter, the blue one. Blue ones are bad. And they're saying like, oh, you're a BV now. This is what the notary did. They made me send all these letters. Dear person or woman, dear man or woman, I changed, like they say themselves, it's a tax service. I changed your registration to be a business person. And then we got like tax numbers. I don't know if I'm like allowed to actually like publish this stuff. That's why I'm not showing like all the contents of the letter. But it's just cool to see like there's more. There are like 3 more, by the way. But so we have seen already like 5 letters, and this is like the 6th. So this is like another registration of UBO. I don't know why I'm getting double. And there's another one for UBO. I don't really know what UBO is actually. I think it's just the registry of like shares or whatever. And then there's like for my old company, Penguin Programmer. This is they're like letting me know that it no longer exists because we cancelled it. And like, okay, there is no way I could have figured this stuff out on my own. Okay, I paid these people quite a bit of money to do this. I think the advisor already got like 2,000, and the administration people got like 1,000. And then I paid another 2,000 for the notary, and I think I have to pay the advisor again another 2,000, and I have to pay the accountant again, like 1,000 or 2,000, probably every year from now on, because this is a lot of work. But yeah, we changed. You're no longer a business person, because this company ceased to exist. It's Penguin Programmer. It's because we're a BV now, and it's kind of sad actually. I get so much as Penguin Programmer, even though I never used that name. Like I started it in the beginning, and I quickly realized that people thought it was kind of funny, and just changed it to Jappie Software quickly, and I used that. But I had all this branding as well. Oh my god! I was like, so this is another one of like. I don't know where I get these double. This is Jappie. Oh, of course, I know where I get these double. I have 2 companies, 2 companies. The third one we don't know about. It's the union between Jappie Software and Jappie. It's silent. It doesn't even get a name. But yeah, so that's. I want to show opening these letters because it's a historic moment. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please like the video. I don't know if anyone would even care about this stuff, but. I care. I want to watch this in the future, so that's why I'm recording it. And I also think that like if you make contracts with yourself and you get a tax advantage for that, and people just it's a tax service. Like if you have to do stuff like this, batshit insane. If you have to do, what we can open. I mean, I guess this is why you get a tax advisor, right? Because who in their right mind would come up with signing a contract with yourself that you're in cooperation with yourself to keep tax advantages? And it works. Like, it works a lot. So we reduced our taxation from, what was it? Like, we started out this year with the idea of paying 51,000 in tax. And they reduced it to 22,000. So that's more than half. That's insane. It's 29,000 euros this year. That's a lot of money. Like, okay, so I mean, I'm silent by this stuff because I don't, like, I've never felt rich, to be honest, or having access to a lot of money. Like, that's the reason thing for me. You know, I guess like part of the issue is that I never started really working on university and whatever. I just programs. I just enjoyed myself, I guess, and got really good at programming. But yeah, like having access to that kind of money, I mean, 29,000 euros by itself is crazy. I drive like a 3,000 euro car, by the way. And yeah, like what we're gonna do with all this money is we're gonna invest it and we're gonna grow it even more. But still, like, making contracts with yourself and doing all these shenanigans, saving you 29,000 per year is crazy. I mean, it's not really safe with yourself because you eventually have to pay the dividends tax. But still, we saw that it's lower. It's still a good 10k lower than what you pay if you keep doing the same thing. I'm just like baffled by why this is the case, I guess. I mean, like, please leave a comment and cast your, like, this can't be right? Like, yeah, so this guy has spent, I mean, I think he spent like 10 hours on me in total. And he's probably like dragging 4,000 euros out of me for that. But, you know, it's worth it. It's worth it because this is like a tax advantage I get year upon year upon year upon year. And the first year, it's already worth it. This is crazy. Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.